Hey there, my name's Devin, and I'm the IT guy in the DFW area. And I'm coming to you today because I wanted to talk to you about something that I'm passionate about, and that's the IT field. I've been in the IT field for about 8 years, and I have been in and out, actually, of the IT field, mostly because of, I thought in the beginning, man, this field is there's just so many people trying to get into it. It's overrated. I thought I just chose the wrong career to get into. I was so wrong. In 2000, I went to school for computer information technology, and I got my master's degree. Well, once I went through the program, I graduated in 2004 and got my first role in the help desk field. That role wasn't what I thought it was, to be honest with you. I didn't realize that I wasn't going to be pulling RAID controllers out of computers, replacing video cards, troubleshooting what's going on with motherboards. I didn't realize that I wasn't doing things like that in the help desk field. In fact, the role that I took wasn't really about the help desk. It was more of a data entry, hey, let's get the technicians out there in the field so they can go ahead and repair the client's computers or systems. And at the time, I was young. I didn't understand the difference between the two. But I quickly caught on. I realized, hey, there's a whole other role. I don't have to just do data entry. I can be more involved. I can troubleshoot over the phone, and I can get those brownie points. Those customers calling, going, man, I hope I get Devin on the phone. And so that role quickly came to an end about 3 years in, maybe 4 years in, and because the company decided to move to Georgia. I was so shocked. I was devastated. I was making great money. And back in 2000, 2004, in that area, making $14 an hour. Man, you were making some money, right? Well, I didn't realize there was more money to be had. I panicked. I needed to find a job as quickly as possible. I jumped into a role that was in the restaurant field. Had nothing to do with what I went to school for. I am not knocking the restaurant field at all, and the reason why is because I learned some great things during my tenure with the restaurant. Became a general manager, and I learned management skills. I learned customer service skills, which in our field, in the IT field, can be so lacking. We have internal customers, we have external customers that we deal with every day, and customer service, wow, that should be number one, right? Well, I don't think it's taught well. At the time it wasn't taught well. The fundamentals of customer service was just out the window. But boy, I tell you what, the time that I spent with the restaurant field, it taught me that you as a person, me as a person, we matter, right? So what seemed to be a situation where we're needed, and oh gosh, I've got another computer I've got to troubleshoot, oh gosh, I've got to hear this lady cry about this or this guy yell about that. I flipped that all around once I went to the restaurant field and realized that the lady's not crying. Guy's not complaining. We use our systems every day. And it's not just computer systems. We're talking about phones these days, tablets. It's not just those things. These phones are our livelihood anymore. We use iPhones and Androids, Windows phones, and things like that all the time. And I'm telling you, if I was without my phone, I'd feel a little crippled, right? So when that person's calling and saying, "Hey, Devin, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this software is, and you, and you, and you," which they're not talking about me, right? They're really just saying, I'm just complaining. Really, that's true. But then when you are there to offer the resolution, when you are there to really explain and get down to the nitty-gritty and educate a little bit while you're doing it, man, and being able to talk to people and say, "Hey, the reason why this is happening here is because of this. Let me set you up and let me show you how to do this, and then and I'm always here for you, but you'll know how to do it later on if you need to get it done, and I'm not available, things like that." So, but anyways, going back to that, that role was super cool in the beginning, right? And it was an entry-level help desk position. And when I say entry-level, it was very entry-level. It started at I think $8.50 an hour, and I moved quickly to $10.50 to $12.50. And the reason why I moved so fast was because of my desire to know what I'm doing, and the fact that I knew how to talk to people. I have watched several videos where people get thumbs down, things like that, because of their opinions and on how they do things. I never thumbs down anyone's because that's their opinion, right? I never say, "You know what, that was a terrible video," because it's what they've experienced, it's what they've gone through in their life, right? And you're going to go through things. You're going to learn things that you never in your wildest dreams would have ever learned. How to join a computer to a domain, Active Directory, how to add a user. You're that guy that gets, that first role you get with the help desk, and somehow you've got credentials to get into the computer. Well, somebody had to set that up, right? It's cool stuff. It's needed. So entry-level help desk positions are a dime a dozen. And the reason why they're a dime a dozen is because people who are phenomenal at what they do, they move up quickly. Our world is changing. There's a need for computers all the time. We have some kind of majority of us out there in the world have got some kind of device that can connect to the internet. And be able to get out there and connect and social media. We've got everything under the sun, right? You have to have a passion. You have to have a passion for what you do. I'm excited to start my series as the IT guy in DFW. I'm excited to start that because over the course of time, I'm going to try to do at least a video twice a week, even while I'm working, right? Because I learn stuff every day. If you think I know everything right now, you're absolutely wrong. I do not know, because things change every single day. I run into issues that are very real, and that sometimes it takes a lot of brainstorming. I may even reach out to you to say, "Hey, guys, what do you think about this? I've ran into this, and I absolutely I've done everything that I think that I can do. I'll ask you. We'll brainstorm together. We'll do things like that. So, my name's Devin, and like I said, and I'm in the DFW area for Dallas-Fort Worth. Love it down here. It's a great area to work in. If you are looking for entry-level help desk work, it's everywhere. If you're looking for intermediate help desk level 2, it's everywhere. If you're looking for project management, being a part of an infrastructure, networking, things like that, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Great schools out here as well, and all over the United States. My first bachelor's degree was not in Texas. My first one was in Maryland. So it was a great experience. I'm doing it again. I'm back in school. In this field, you're constantly moving, right? There's lots of education that is needed. Not to say that you have to go to college, but you'll always be in that help desk role. You'll always be that senior advisor that moved up a little bit without proper education. Now, I say that. I know people who are in the field who don't have a degree, and they're doing phenomenal, and it's because of their years of experience. They will tell you that they have they've been overlooked plenty of times. They had to fight to get where they were at. There is education like your A+ certification, CompTIA A+. Gosh, get it. There's places out there that offer vouchers for the here in Texas, it's $211 to take the test. And you have to take both. Actually, there's 2 tests. There's 901 and 902 that you have to take. $211 a pop. But there's vouchers out there. Even CompTIA offers them if you're in school. I'm back in school. I'm getting another bachelor's degree that helps. Is going to give me a better working knowledge of security, cybersecurity, things like that. Firewalls, networking, things like that. That is going to give me a definite leg up there. I chose an online school because I do work, and online schools are perfect for the role, especially when you're working in the field already. It's recommended that you get on someplace entry level if you can, and get in there, learn the help desk role. Get in there and learn everything that you can at that point while you are getting your education. The school I chose was Strayer University. I chose them for a number of reasons. One is I haven't read anything terrible at all about them. And you have to really look at people's complaints, folks. There are people who complain because it's something to do. You have to understand that. So when you're reading complaints, you need to take in, one of the complaints I did read was, my FAFSA didn't come through quick enough, or my loans didn't come through quick enough. Why didn't you apply when you first decided to do this? Why did you decide to start school in a week when things take a while? So that's not Strayer's fault. That's FAFSA. So, and then loans and things like that. Well, okay, it is what it is. you have to plan. You have to plan. And in our role and in our career as IT professionals, that's what we do. We plan. We have lists. We complete a lot of things on a daily basis. And without planning to do those things, we kind of be up the creek without a paddle, right? So I chose Strayer. Strayer has been amazing. The only thing I could say is if you do decide to go to Strayer, don't go with a laptop program, especially if you already have a good working knowledge of computers. Get you one that you will enjoy, that you'll be able to use. The one they sent me was very slow. I ended up putting in the max RAM, which was only 8 gigs. It can only go up to 8 gigs of RAM. I ended up putting in a new hard drive SSD just to help speed up things. That sped up the system about 30%. So that was great. The processor, it's a Celeron processor. So there's nothing else I have to say about that. So it's moving now, but again, I already had a Lenovo laptop that I had maxed out to 16 gigs of RAM, an SSD, and then it had I-Core 5 processor, and so it moves great. A couple of things that you'll want to consider. There's a lot of things to consider about equipment that you'll want to have on hand when you're going to school. But Strayer gives you so much. So they give you a what they call, I believe, a SIM key, to where you can go in and you actually do a lot of virtual system building and things like that, which is cool. That's cool, right? But this is neat if you can get a hold of parts and do things yourself. Actually have touched RAM, actually have touched a motherboard. Don't forget about ESD. But median salary ranges for entry-level information technology is about $47,000. So that's the median salary range for entry-level information technology. Low end $32,000. Higher end for entry-level positions are $71,000, depending on the area that you're in. And folks, let me just say something to you about the area that you're in. If you're saying, well, my area is not great for this field, no one is holding you to the location you're in. Now, I understand there's people out there that their mom and dads are still alive. They're having to take care of those things. They're married. It's hard to uproot people and things like that. But sometimes you have to do what's right for you, and you have to get out there and decide that. For me, I was in Ohio. Yeah, okay. So there was not a lot to do, a lot to go around there. But Texas, tons. Consider also, before you move, the cost of living. $47,000 salary for an entry-level IT position, help desk, or what have you, is not going to cut it in California unless you've got a bunch of other folks who have that same salary going on, right? Living there. So, IT, gotta have a passion for it. My upcoming videos are going to be about how to land that role, what to look for, what your resume should look like, What training can you start now without having to run to school? I'm going to talk about some interview questions that they typically ask, and they'll want to test your knowledge a little bit out there. So there are plenty of positions out there for you to give it a shot, and my upcoming videos are going to be really driven around the IT field. Some of the things that I've learned. I also talk about, for instance, Active Directory. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to use Active Directory. I'll show you how to create a user, reset a password. I'll show you how to create an organizational unit in Active Directory. I'll show you how to use group policy and what that's all for, and in layman's term. But I'm going to use the specifics, because at the end of the day, when you're in an interview, if all you've heard is layman terms, and I'll give you those while I'm giving you some of the, OU, organizational unit, or GP, group policy, what is a group policy, and things like that. Once I give you all those, I'm going to make sure that you understand it, but in a way that is good for you. Plus, when that your terrific employer looks at you and says, "Hey, so Devin, explain to me what group policy does, and how's that beneficial in our organization?" They ask those questions. Explain to me how you add a user in Active Directory. Explain to me how ticketing systems. Explain to me, what is the blue screen of death? Why would you get it? Why would you have the blue screen of death? Everybody knows what that is, right? So, what causes those things, and what can you do to troubleshoot it? I want to make sure that my videos are worth something to you. I do hope that you give me a lot of likes. Don't give me dislikes just because you're that person. Don't say anything. Just drop me a line and say, "Hey Devin, I'd like for you to talk about this," and I don't know that I agree with this or that or this or that, because remember, this is a life experience. This is a life experience, because I don't know everything. You don't know everything, and you probably are super sharp though. And I'd love to tap into that mind of yours as well. Got a lot to look forward to on my channel. I hope that you all will subscribe. And I look forward to working with all of you, even if it's through social media, YouTube, things like that. So drop me a like if you like to. Drop me a comment. I really appreciate that. And definitely come back. I'll if you subscribe, or hit the little bell. I think it's a little bell, and it'll notify you when my next video is available. Okay. Well, I hope you all are having a wonderful week. Tomorrow is Easter. Looking forward to a great Sunday, and we'll talk soon, right? Have a good day.